I really, really don't want to do this. Like, I'm gonna be really honest with you. I mean, I'm already being pretty honest. The more prepared I am, the better things will be. Let's do this. Let's pack and have a chat and have a catch up. Good morning. I grabbed out my big suitcase today because I'm actually going to start packing in order to move. This is going to be a bit of a test run though. I've never ever had enough time to do things slowly and do a bit of a test pack because I don't know, I've just always left it to the last minute and then I run out of time and then it's just pure chaos. And I would like to avoid that this time. Plus, I'm just waiting around for the green light, so I have all the time in the world to be able to pack. And I've accumulated a few extra things in the last couple of months and I don't think it's going to fit into a suitcase, so I need to figure out what's going to go in here and then come up with some other options for my stuff. Whether I ship some boxes over or I take an extra suitcase, I don't know, but that's what I'm going to do today. We're going to pack and organize and try and figure this out. I have you in the corner over there. I know you're so far away. I hope you can see everything though while I'm packing. I also have my microphone on me today. I know it's a bit of an eyesore, but I want you to be able to hear me wherever I go as I'm packing everything. I've had a couple of questions about this microphone. I did upload a bit of information about it on TikTok, so I'll have that link down below. I got my packing cubes, my suitcase, my wardrobe that's already half kind of organized. And today I thought I would share a bit of a story with you while I pack rather than me just speeding it up and you watching it with music. I thought we could have a bit of a chat because of one particular comment I got on my last video. This is from Elaine and it says, "When you can, I think we would all love a life update, your move and your boyfriend. Sorry, I am just a loyal nosy fan." And I absolutely love this comment and I think it's time I start sharing some of the story. So I am going to be moving hopefully next month. So as that all unfolds, I'll keep you updated. But today I thought I would give you a bit of a backstory and explain how and why I'm here right now. Like why I'm packing, what's happening, like, you know, how did I get here kind of thing. So I'm gonna pop my hair up because I just want it out of my face today. And then I'm going to get into my closet and start figuring out what to pack. I think I'm gonna start with my absolute favorite things first and then work from there. That seems like the most logical way to pack, right? So let's do this. Let's pack and have a chat and have a catch up. So where do I start the story? My boyfriend. It is a topic that I have never really talked about on my channel before. I have been keeping it pretty under lock and key, to be honest. I have not really felt in a position to be able to talk about these things. And the reason for that is many, many years ago, I was in a really bad relationship. It was not good and it kind of ruined my life. It really did. It was not good. At one point I literally ended up in court having to get an intervention order against this person. Okay, so it was not good. And that is something that I have kept so far off the internet. It's not even funny. And thankfully, you know, that whole part of my life was never ever talked about. The person was never talked about. And I just am glad that it's kind of never even touched the internet. But that has been something that has prevented me from talking about my personal life because after you go through something like that, it kind of breaks you. It takes every piece of self-worth, sense of self that you have and just shatters it. And that was one of those things where I just felt so much shame. It literally makes you believe that you are the worst person in the whole world, that you do not have the ability to make good choices, especially romantically. And I could not deal with the thought of talking about it online and then having someone affirm all of the horrible things that I felt about myself. You know, like if someone were to just go, yeah, you know what, you do make bad decisions, you are the worst person ever, it would have killed me. Like I would not have been able to deal with that, you know? So I just never talked about it. I put this steel wall up and I was like, I am not letting anybody in. This is off limits. And then as time has gone on, my life has started to change and I've realized that where my life is headed just makes no sense anymore because I haven't talked about it. So after that whole situation, I did, you know, have other relationships and they were fine. They weren't the relationship, but a number of years ago, I just kind of realized that it was time to actually figure this out. Like I cannot live my life thinking I am awful and people pleasing to such a degree that it is just ruining things for myself. And so I started to seek out the help of a therapist who I still speak to this day. He's very, very helpful, and I'm very, very grateful for all of the work that I have done with him. I am just realizing now that half my stuff is in the dirty wash, and this is probably the worst day for me to actually do this, but whatever, I'm going to do it anyway and just see what I'm working with. Anyway, back to the story. So over the last couple of years, I have redeveloped a sense of self. I have become more confident in myself, and I've started to sort of understand, where I'm going and what it is that I want for my life, kind of thing. That is something I've also never shared. I've never really shared where it is I see myself going, the type of life that I want to live. And I guess that's why this whole relationship thing seems so out of left field, because I've just never talked about it, right? Anyway, just to give you a little insight into, where I see my life going, I would like to get married and have a family and do all that kind of stuff. So that's sort of the vision for my life, and that's what I want, and hopefully that all works out. That is one bag packed. It's a compression bag, so it has a zip around the side that's supposed to make it, really squished and all tight, so I'm gonna see how that goes. Anyway, I'm hoping this is making sense so far. You may remember in, March last year, I went to Austin, Texas for, I think it was like 6 or 7 weeks. That was one of the best things that I have ever done in my entire life. Okay, ow, my legs. I have very sore legs. I did a leg workout yesterday. They're not happy with me. Anyway, it was one of the best things that I ever did because I just completely isolated myself. I spent the whole time just kind of doing my thing, keeping up with a kind of really healthy routine. I didn't leave the house unless I needed to get groceries or run errands. And I just really focused a lot on trying to figure out, who I am, where I'm going, all that kind of a little more cliche stuff. And by the end of Austin, I feel like I had finally shed the weight of so many things that were holding me down. I feel like I came out of Austin as an entirely different person. And I was actually so ready to start sharing more with you. I was like, ooh, okay, I feel confident. I know what I want from my life. I would love to meet someone. I would love to have a family. But I'm also so ready to just let life unfold and go with the journey. And if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. It's gonna be fine. And I just felt so confident in myself for the first time in years. And I was like, yeah, I think I'm in a good place to start talking about things. Anyway, a week into me being in Toronto, I start dating one of my friends, and all of a sudden that steel wall goes right back up. I'm like, nope, we are not talking about this. This is not happening. And I think the reason for that was, it's because I already knew him. He wasn't just a stranger. Like, I was so ready to be like, oh, cool, I'm gonna go on some dates, and then I can come home and we can chat about it and be like, oh, we like this, we didn't like this. And I was really excited for that journey. It didn't work out that way. And so as much as I was ready to start talking about my personal life, yeah, we started dating, and I was like, okay, nope, I cannot talk about this. And that wall went straight back up. Anyway, a couple of months after we started dating, it got to the middle of last year, so about 6 months ago, and I was like, okay, well, I can't continue on making videos without explaining at least something. So that is when I decided to explain that I'm in a relationship, long distance, and that was about as much as I gave really at the time. I just realized, I don't know if you're gonna be able to pick up any background noise, but I think my mom just had some guests arrive, so it could get noisy. Also, I'm struggling big time with trying to squish this silly little compression bag together. I think maybe I have too much in there. It's not working very well. Anyway, I got totally sidetracked just telling the story. So that's kind of what happened and why I just kept everything under lock and key. It was just because I felt too much shame. I was like, I am convinced I am just really bad at this, and I just can't share it. I can't share it. It's too painful. So I didn't. I'm gonna come back to that because that's annoying me. Okay, let's talk about tops. All right, let me get my thoughts straight so that I'm continuing to make sense, because I just feel like I'm rambling a lot right now. Back to the story. That's why I never talked about anything. And then that leads me up until almost a year ago when I was like, yes, I'm ready to talk about things. Actually, no, sorry, I lie. Not ready to talk about things. And I guess the question is like, why now? What's changed and what has happened for me in February 2024 to be so ready to talk about this now? I think I'll get to that in a minute. I'm gonna go back and give you a little bit of a backstory on me and my boyfriend, which will help answer that question. He and I met in March 2022, and we have known each other for what, almost 2 years now, which is insane. I just had to take a minute to like pause and breathe because I'm trying to make sure that I'm not getting too worked up talking about this stuff. This kind of stuff just, you know, like I said, after everything I went through, it's just been very, really stressful and anxiety inducing, and I feel a little overwhelmed. I hope I haven't been talking too fast. As much as I would love to watch this back and probably be like, oh no, I have to like refilm it and say the right things, I'm not going to. I'm going to push through and do this today. So please bear with me while I figure this out. So what was I saying? Right, our story. So we met 2 years ago. Cannot believe it has been 2 years since we met. It's wild. I don't understand where time is going. And he became a part of our friend group, and we were friends for just over a year before we started dating. And so we've talked about, you know, our timeline of being friends, because, you know, those are the fun things that you talk about. And I think what we have concluded is that we've always had a crush on each other. It's just we were never both emotionally available at the same time during like 2022. And then by chance, I get back to Toronto last year and it just all falls into place. And when I tell you, it was such a case of right place, right time. And I know that sounds so cliche, like that it was just meant to be, but like it was just so close. The way that everything happened, it just kind of happened. In one of my videos in the middle of the year, there's a section where I'm talking about the Blink 182 concert, and that my friend Braden called me and was like, hey, managed to get last minute tickets. You want to come? Like an hour before I have to show up at Scotiabank. Yeah. Scotiabank? Yeah, it was Scotiabank Arena. Like an hour before I have to show up at Scotiabank. I'm like, absolutely, I'm coming to the concert. That's amazing. Anyway, my now boyfriend was one of the people that was also joining us for this concert. And that was the night that I was like, I think there's something here. And I called my friend Liz the next day and I was like, am I being insane or is this a thing? And she's like, oh no, that's a thing. What are you gonna do about it? And I'm like, I don't know. Like, he's so nice. Like, so then we had like 3, 4, maybe 5 days of that weird in between where it's like tension and you're like, is this a thing? Is this not a thing? Like, you know, what's happening? And then one of the nights we were hanging out and just before he went to leave, he kissed me and I am just like, oh my God, it's happening. It's happening. Everybody stay calm. But it was amazing. And then the rest is like history. So then we start dating. And then, yeah, a couple months later, we start talking more seriously about things. And I'm like, oh no, I have to update things on my channel. How do I do this? And so that's when I sort of said, hey, I'm in a long distance relationship. And yeah, we've been in a long distance relationship now for many, many months. And as hard as long distance relationships are, this has actually been kind of, I don't want to say easy, but just nice. I feel like we have really bonded and grown together in this time. I sort of thought, I never ever questioned that we wouldn't make it. I always knew we would make it. I just sort of thought maybe it would be a little bit just like everything stays the same and then we pick up where I left off. But no, we've really, really grown together, which has been really nice. So in the scheme of, you know, long distance and things, it's been really quite, I don't want to say nice because obviously I miss him, but it's been nice. How many pajamas do I need to take with me? This is so many. Anyway, I think that's kind of the update of our relationship and how we started dating. It just kind of happened, and then the next thing I know, I'm in a relationship with one of my friends and it's amazing. And so back to the question of like, why now? Why am I so ready to talk about it now? Well, one, there's this huge disconnect. Like, you know, there's this big gap between where I once was like a year and a bit ago and where I am now. So I have to close that gap. Secondly, I do feel much more confident and comfortable to talk about these things. And I say that as I'm gonna check my chest in the mirror, because whenever I talk about things like this, I tend to get flustered. I'm not too bad right now. It is a little hot in here, so that could just be it. And I feel like I haven't really packed anything because I've been talking, but I am making progress. I'm not thinking too hard about this, you know? So anyway, back to the story. So why now? Why am I so ready to talk about it now? Well, I think there's a number of reasons. One, the fact that it has been almost 2 years. He's not a stranger to me, and I'm not saying that there is anything wrong with meeting someone and then moving your whole life for them. Some of the most healthiest, happiest relationships and marriages are built on that kind of beginning. But I think for me, and knowing myself and knowing my past, if that were the case and he were a stranger, I wouldn't feel as confident as I do now. I wouldn't. It wouldn't be a question of whether I would do that for someone. It would be a question of whether I'd be willing to share it. And I think that's the difference. I think I'm ready to share it because I know him. We have history. He's not just a stranger. The next thing that I think is contributing to me feeling more confident right now is the fact that he is a wonderful man. Like, that's an understatement, quite frankly. When we first started dating, we kept it kind of a secret because we were like, obviously we have a friend group. We don't want to go blowing things up if we're not really sure if this is a thing. And so we didn't tell anybody. And in that time, I actually kind of would listen to the way that my friends would talk about him when he was not around. And it was just, oh, he's the best. He's the greatest. He's the nicest. I'm not saying that you should be paying attention to what everybody else is thinking and feeling, but it is important to me that my friends and my family do like the person that I'm in a relationship with and that they do think that that person is a good person for me. So having half the people that I already love and care about think so highly of him and love him and know him does make this a little easier. And again, I think that also is just contributing to me feeling more confident in this, drastic life decision kind of thing. And, from that, I started to think about what I had said about him when we were friends back in 2022. And sure enough, when I thought about it, those exact words had come out of my mouth. Oh my God, he's the best. He's the greatest. He's just so nice. I have always thought so highly of him and really respected him as a man in my life. And so I think that also is just another thing that really makes me feel confident in this, because I really do respect him and I'm so proud that he's my boyfriend. That's such a weird thing to say, but this whole experience of a relationship with him has given me the chance to go, hold up, I am not this horrible, stupid person that I have been convinced to think that I am. And when I've reflected on my previous relationships and dating, I've kind of realized oh, you know what? These people are actually all pretty nice. They're not awful, bar that one person. But it's helped me over the last, I'd say 6 to 9 months to sort of really understand that the beliefs that I had about myself are just not true at all, which has been such a nice thing, I guess. So yeah, that's why I'm more ready to talk about it now. Again, too, obviously, when I first said that we were dating, it was quite new. And over the last few months, I've had more of a chance to, get used to having someone in my life, and not just someone, but also having a very different type of relationship, a very different dynamic, a very healthy dynamic. And I've just had to take a few months to get used to it before I talk about it. And yeah, I just think with the move coming up really fast and everything starting to change drastically and just how I'm feeling about everything, I feel pretty comfortable and confident to talk about it now. So I guess that's kind of the whole update, really. I don't think I really packed that much while I was talking to you, because I've been kind of thinking out loud. Really, I should go and put a load of washing on. It is a delightful day. But that's kind of the story of me, him, how our relationship started and how we got here. I guess the one last piece that is missing that I think also contributes to my confidence in all of this, and also just is making a very big difference, is I knew the older I got, the faster things would happen with someone, because I knew that I would be in a position to know what I'm looking for, have gone through all of this, and I'm like, okay, this is where I want my life to go. And so before we even moved into being in a relationship, we sat down and we had a 5-hour conversation talking about everything, where we see ourselves going, what we want from a partner, a marriage, babies, morals, values, how we're going to deal with conflict and raising kids and yada yada yada, all those things. And we talked about it, and by the end of this conversation we were completely aligned, and we were like, okay, let's do this, let's go into this, because obviously moving straight into a long distance relationship and having me move is a really big thing. And so going into this relationship knowing the direction it was going to go, knowing what kind of path we're on, has also just contributed to everything feeling really calm and easy, and just it gives me that confidence. And I think that's what's giving me this confidence to be able to talk to you a little bit more about it. And I am standing at my wardrobe, so not knowing what to do, because clearly I cannot multitask right now. I'm gonna be really honest with you. I mean, I'm already being pretty honest. I feel like I've been fending off a panic attack for the last 2 weeks. I just feel funny in my chest, which is why I sort of stopped drinking caffeinated coffee the last couple of weeks. It's a bit much for me. And now that I've pulled all of this out, it doesn't look like it's that much to fit in my suitcase. I'm gonna have to go and put a load of washing on, because I'm not gonna be able to finish this until I figure out what else needs to go in the suitcase. Anyway, before I go and put my load of washing on, I guess that's kind of the update. I hope I haven't forgotten anything. I may edit this and then interject with anything else that I can think of. I really hope I don't have to, though, because this is my goal. My goal is to work through this stuff from my past and be able to sort of own it and be more confident in myself moving forward. So that is the update. of why I never talked about these things, why I kept so much a secret, why I'm talking about it now, and then just the cute little story of me and my boyfriend and how that started, which is just so adorable in every way possible. And I'm just so thankful for it. So that's that. It is time to do some washing. Washing is on. I am currently standing in my suitcase, which feels very odd, and I've had a moment to kind of decompress a little bit. I feel that it probably would have been more appropriate to sit down and just talk to you about the story of why I never talked about my relationship stuff and why I'm talking about it now, but I just wanted to do something with my hands. I wanted to do something casual to share that story. It just felt like a lot less pressure, although to be honest, it's probably not as dramatic as my head is making it out to be. But anyway, if you have any questions, go for it. I'm so not worried if it's like a deep question, go for it. Obviously, if there's anything that I'm uncomfortable with, I won't talk about it, but feel free to ask questions. And I did get a little bit done. I mean, I didn't get as much done as I wanted to because I was talking to you, but I do really wish that you could just be here. Like, can you just climb through the screen and be in my room, please? Because I feel like I need a hug, and that would be nice. That would be really nice. Because I feel like today is a big step for me to like get past that and talk about it. Anyway, I did manage to put things into slightly different piles. I really didn't think about this. I really need all of my clothes to be clean in order to do this, but I don't know. Look, one step closer to me figuring out how I'm gonna pack everything and whatever. And that's the main thing here, you know? The more prepared I am, the better things will be. Fingers crossed, hopefully. Managed to pack all of my clothes into one side of my suitcase. There's still a lot of room in there. It just depends on how heavy everything's gonna be. The only thing that I don't really have are my summer-ish clothes because I'm gonna be going back when it's cold, and I wanna take my summer stuff. It just depends on whether it will fit and will hit the weight limit, you know? Okay, it is so hot today, but it's great because it means the washing is going to dry so quickly. I did not want to be out there while I was hanging it out. It was way too hot out there, so I hung out the first load, put on the second load, and I counted all of the items in those loads. There's only 4 pairs of pants, 2 gym leggings, and 2 tailored pants, and then 4 or 5 tops, and they're all small, so nothing super bulky. It should very easily fit in my suitcase with the space that I have, and I just need to figure out the summer clothes, the shoes, the accessories, the toiletries. That kind of scares me because that stuff gets really heavy with all my glass bottles of skincare. I don't know, but I'm trying to, you know, slowly figure it out. I bought myself a little Bundaberg lemonade today from the general store where I get my mail. I went and picked up one of these, some milk, a little bag of potato chips, and a ginger beer from my mom, and I'm not kidding, it was $20. Gone are the days where those 4 items would cost like $5. I'm sure once upon a time it was even cheaper than that. So yeah, it is hot. I kind of want to turn my fan on. My wardrobe's starting to look a little empty now. This top shelf is the summer stuff, and everything that's over here on the right hand side, I'm not really sure about. I don't absolutely love it. I'd be quite happy for that to go into storage. This side, well, the 3 items at the bottom, I definitely want to take. I mean, the denim shorts are a bit, you know, in between. But those 2 items, absolutely want to take them. And if it's only 2 items, I should have more than enough room to fit them in my suitcase. So I will pop those down in there. These 2 shirts I do really like for summer, so I'll see if I can fit those in as well. And the denim shorts. I'm gonna put that over there for a minute. I really didn't want to pack up my accessories because it's just kind of annoying, but I think I might have to just to fit it all together and double check. This is my little jewelry case. I absolutely love this thing. I bought it about a year ago. It's amazing. And so I'm gonna squish all of my jewelry into here. I have picked up a few new jewelry items lately, which I'm very excited about. How gorgeous are these shell earrings and ring that matches? So these are the nice chunky gold earrings, and then this is the ring, and it's absolutely stunning. It is like my favorite summer 2024 accessories. I'm very excited about those. And I have, yeah, a few extra things. So I'm gonna put this all together and stick it in with the, what am I thinking of? I created a little accessories pouch. I really, really don't want to do this. Like, it's so annoying to do this and then unpack it all, but I need to test it out and just, you know, see where I'm at in terms of how much I can take with me. So I'm just gonna pack all of my makeup into this Clarins bag that I got as part of a Christmas collection thing. I'm sure there's a few things I could leave here, but whatever. We're just gonna pack it for now. Sunglasses are always one of the hardest things to travel with. I have this sunglass case holder. It holds 5 sunglasses, although I have accessories in the end piece. And then it just rolls up together. And I'm thinking I might just pack this one into my checked luggage and then take this one with my actual seeing glasses in my carry-on luggage. Honestly, didn't even need to bring these 3 glasses. Not once have I opened this. It's been in the back of my cupboard. I feel like that was so silly. But the really cool thing about this is when I do move is you can, I'm really hoping nothing falls out, you can just, you know, hook it on the wall. You end up with this really cool hanging sunglass holder. And then you can just unhook it and fold it up to travel with. Very cool, but it is just a little chunky. Okay, I have my scale. Let me figure out how much I weigh, and then I'm going to weigh the suitcase. I'm gonna write that down. Otherwise, I'm gonna forget and not be able to do the math. I almost forgot it while I was writing it out. Anyway, I now need to zip up my suitcase. The only thing missing from my suitcase right now are the few pieces that are on the clothesline and my underwear and socks, which are in that drawer over there. And then why has my brain stopped working? What am I missing? Oh, my toiletries from the bathroom. Oh my goodness. My hair tools and things like that, which I don't really have that many. That's okay, that's not even a thing. I haven't booked a flight yet, but the standard for a flight is usually 23 kilos. Who wants to bet that I'm over? So let's do it. No way. I'm literally only, that suitcase is only 20 kilos. I'm pretty sure that was 20.6 kilos, which means I still have like 2 kilos to be able to fit in that suitcase. This is amazing. Oh my gosh, I am doing so much better than I thought I was. How exciting. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna be able to fit all of those clothes in, which means I can take all my summer clothes. How exciting. I have my shoes, my handbags. I have everything in there pretty much. I am so glad I did this. I was kind of dreading it because now I have to unpack everything because I don't need to do this properly for a couple more weeks. So it's kind of annoying, but I'm really glad that I did it because now I have a much better idea of what I'm actually taking with me. I was convinced that I was going to need 2 of these giant suitcases for all my stuff. So now I'm really excited that I don't. Okay, this just makes things so much easier. I'm now annoyingly going to have to unpack the whole thing. I do believe my toiletries will probably weigh the extra 2 and a bit kilos that I have available in this suitcase. And I've decided I'm gonna write a list. I'm actually going to write a list of all the things that I wanna pack so that I can keep track of it when I do go to move so I don't forget anything. So yay, I feel accomplished. Do you love my nice and dead lilies? I don't know what's wrong with them. I've only had them for 8 days. They just do not seem to last as long as some of the other flowers, which is really annoying, but whatever. I tried with the sugar thing and it didn't really work, so I don't know. Maybe I'll just avoid getting lilies. I mean, this time I really only had lilies as an option to get. It was that or nothing. But in the future, hopefully I can get something else. I'm down to unpacking the last little bit. That actually didn't take very long to unpack because I decided to keep all of my clothes just inside the packing cubes and I can just grab them out from the cubes. I think that'll just be fine. Like, I can't really be bothered to unpack it and neatly organize that part of my wardrobe. I am super happy to know that I am like right on my target weight right now, which is great. I just realized that my sunglasses are still in the container. My belts can stay in here and then my jewelry can just go back there, and that's pretty much it. Thanks for hanging out with me while I packed my suitcase to figure out how much I have and how much is gonna fit in it. I feel really good about this. And also thanks for listening to me before while I was explaining my little bit of a story and an update. I did watch some of it before and I do feel comfortable in sharing all of that. I did actually update my camera yesterday. I updated the camera software and I think they've made some microphone changes, so I don't know if the audio of this is really annoying or not. And what else? Yeah, I think the only thing that I may have left out is that even if, you know, this turns out to be the worst decision I've ever made, I just feel really confident in being able to get through that and then just, you know, moving my life onto a different path and dealing with whatever the outcome is. So that's, yeah, a little bit of my backstory onto my relationship and why I've never talked about things before. And I do want to talk about things more moving forward. So as I said, if you have questions, please let me know. And I hope this video hasn't turned out to be a bajillion years long, but yeah, I hope you've enjoyed it and I will see you in my next video.